Oh my God! I hear this 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 moron. This is a real person. This person is a person that he lost his marbles. The more he talks, the more he appears and talks in the recent time. The more and more you feel that he's losing it. He's losing it. He is a small-time commentator, and he was a small-time weapons inspector. And he thinks that he knows everything. He's taking all his information from TV channels abroad, from all other sources of information, but he is not taking the information from the source, from the root. So he's distorting together with his personal agenda. He is against, probably private situation with his work and the government of the United States. They hurt him or they didn't want him. And he's also against the government of the United States. And he's talking so much bullshit and so much fake things, and let's hear him here.
That it can't militarily defeat Hamas. Just prepared this battlefield for a decade. The Israeli army is a joke. It is a literal joke.
Okay, so about what he says here, about what he says is about that the Israeli army is a joke. Well, Scott Reitter, or Scott Reitter, whatever his bullshit name is, he is a joke. He is beginning to lose his marbles. And when you see him talk, you see the passion in his eyes. He's so fun of the moment that that he's showing himself and his face and speaking with so much enthusiastic, so much fire, even though that he speaks so much bullshit. The Israeli army, as I said, was caught because of different things that were also in Israel, but also in one sentence they were caught with the pants down. But now 70% of the northern Gaza buildings are not suitable to live in. 70%. Also, that's in the north of Gaza. In the south of Gaza, there are also big places that the army is controlling. And for example, Khan Yunis, a big part of Khan Yunis is completely destroyed. Yes, it's true. Israel got casualties. Total casualties, it's something like 530 and something. 188 since the ground invasion. But if you take from the Hamas terrorist from the ground invasion, it's about between 8,000 to 9,000 terrorists. So this is the scale. Now, those Hamas terrorist fighters, from the point of view of fighting, strategy, and physical fitness and different other things, they are a joke. On the scale from 1 to 10, when you take excellent, it's 10 in fighting and strategy and planning and etc. And 1 is the most despicable and low level. They are something between 2 minus plus, or 2 or 3. From the planning of the invasion, that was, here they planned it, yes, they planned it in a nice, in a pretty good way. But as I said, they caught Israel in the time of some crisis and with the pants down. But from the point of view of soldiers on the ground, they are horrible in fighting. They are very low level. They are using all kinds of coward methods. Coming with a motorcycle to check areas where there are soldiers, and they are checking it with putting a child behind him and a child in front of him on the motorcycle, or sending women in front of them, or booby traps, or coming from surprise, trying to surprise, coming from an entrance of a tunnel that then generally those entrances are in all kinds of buildings, and trying to shoot with a RPG or with other missiles at soldiers. They cannot afford to themselves to fight face to face with the power that Israeli army has, from the sea, from the ground, and from the air. Israel, in those fights, they used, it was a high-level connection strategy, from a bird's view to the ground and also to the sea. So everything was coordinated in a way that that would make the Israel lose that we have as less casualties, but still we have. And of course, in this is an urban fight in the most difficult, how should I say? It's the most hard combat environment in the world, and they were prepared for it. So it's the most hard combat environment in the world, this kind of environment that even the Americans and other armies in the world have never encountered. And when you take for example that they also prepared a long time for it, it makes it even harder. There's no army in the world that ever fought such a hard environment. And even with this hard environment and with the preparation from advanced, the Israelis did 20 times more damage or 30 times more damage completely to the Hamas and to the Gaza Strip. And of course, one thing I must mention, they've always let the people know where they're going to be struck through phone calls, through parachuting, throwing paper leaves with all the information, where and when. This was not good because also the Hamas knew it. And through, as I said, phone calls and through other methods, they announced the people and they said, go to this corridor, these humanitarian corridors. And the Hamas was trying not to let them go, put obstacles, threaten those citizens, even shoot at them. They didn't want, they wanted the people to remain there as human shields as much as possible.